I don't think I could begin to tell people how much my life has actually changed since my 100-pound weight loss almost 6 years ago. I've endured ups and downs of relationships before my weight loss. I had low self esteem, so I had been in relationships that were less than what I deserved anyway. Afterwards, things did change, but I really want to kind of give you all a good view of how things changed for the good and for the bad. So this is only part one of this video. I'm going to make sure that I do a part two. So make sure you watch it, pass it along, internalize it, and maybe it can help you along your journey as well. Thanks, guys.
Hi everyone, it's your girl, Beautiful Brown Baby Doll, and I'm coming today to talk about something that I've been asked about several times. I'll address it quickly, but I definitely wanted to provide some inspiration and motivation because I've had a lot of young women and men write into me and say, what are those differences you've experienced since your weight loss? And, my 100-pound weight loss occurred almost 6 years ago. So I've kept this weight off for a very long time. So I feel like I've been pretty seasoned in how I've been treated, the differences I've experienced before and after losing the weight, and how that's affected me. So I'm going to talk a little bit more about it. The first thing I think a lot of people wanted to know was romantically, has that changed anything? As far as meeting people, dating, just different things like that. And I will say, I can't lie and say it didn't. It really has. It's changed my scope on dating. It's changed how people see me. It's changed how people have viewed me. It also changed people that always knew I was around, but yet might not have been physically attracted to me at the time until I lost the weight. And a lot of times I think we become kind of bitter about that. And I think I've used my weight loss as a way to not become bitter about that because it's human nature. Like if you were to do anything that were to set you apart or make you different, especially if you were already a valuable person or asset before the change occurred, and then the change makes you that much more desirable, then you probably can't assure that people are going to really want to be around you after a bigger change occurs. And so I think that's where my maturity level has changed, because in the past, I remember it did make me upset. It did make me wonder, like, why all of a sudden, I could have a guy friend and then all of a sudden he wants to be my boyfriend, or he wants to be around me, or he wants to be intimate with me. And, before I did not really understand that, but it's human nature, and especially if, like I said, it's an added bonus if that person is already a genuinely good person. And I think most people saw me as a cool chick with a really good attitude, whose attitude really didn't change after the weight loss. I was still cool. I was still sweet. I was still humble, and still kind. And then to add to that, after this weight loss, I achieved so many wonderful things, getting a doctorate, getting a good job, all of those different things. So I can see why people would be attracted and drawn to that overall. And a weight loss really changes who you are physically, and especially if you go through the trials and tribulations. And when I say correctly and positively, I exercised my butt off to lose my weight. I did not just, do some fly-by-night diet. I lost weight by diligently exercising, and I still do exercise 6 to 7 days a week, faithfully. And back then I was exercising 6 to 7 days a week. I was changing the way that I ate. I lost most of my weight within 8 months to 12 months, and it was just all gone at that point. And so I totally turned into a different person. I was diligent. I was hardworking. I was happy. And I think a lot of times people are naturally attracted to someone who is more confident. And in that time, I became way more confident. I became way more settled on who I was. And what I can say is that since my weight loss, I've had 2 relationships. I've been single for the past 3 years. So I think what's funny to people is, I've lost this weight, but I'm not really like out here just having a boyfriend all the time. So I think also I had to take a lot of time to get to know and accept the new Nina myself. And I've been happy doing that, because now I do know what makes me happy. I do know what I really like. And in this three years, I'm not saying that I wasn't dating. I've been dating, but I have not been in a serious relationship for 3 years. But I do say that I mean, in the beginning, it was honestly wonderful to get all of the attention that I got, but it did start to get to a point where I was like, wow, like these people really only pay attention to me because of this weight loss. But like I said, it goes back to the human nature thing. And now as far as women, that has changed as well. Women, some women fell off the bandwagon. I remember sometimes having friends that wanted to be around me, and then after the weight loss occurred, really didn't want to be around me. And I think in their heads I had changed, but I hadn't changed. I had just lost a lot of weight, which naturally boosts your confidence. And I think some people take it to the level of arrogance. I won't call it arrogance. I became more confident, more assertive. I became happier with myself. And because people weren't used to that person, that was intimidating for them. And then especially to go out with somebody after the fact and being used to getting all the attention, and then now this person is like an attention hog and getter, then it's also going to cause them to have some friction or tension, or have a sense of jealousy for that person, especially when it comes with that confidence level. It might cause them to look at different flaws within themselves. They might want to try to figure out what's so great about you, because I've even had that said to me. Well, what's so great about you? And the thing is, like I said, I'll reiterate, I was always a great person, but then to make the outsides make the insides match the outside made me that much more attractive. And I think a lot of people were looking to be a part of that, and being that they knew my story, they knew I came from humble beginnings, they knew I came from a single parent home, they knew I was a cool girl, they knew I was from the hood, all of that just made it even more attractive. And I think a lot of women don't like to handle another woman who's sure of herself and who also has many other great assets, and then she's beautiful. That's intimidating to some women. And I mean, I thank God for having gone through this process, because I've been on both sides. I know what it's like to look at the other side and be like, well, she gets all this attention, she's beautiful, all of that. And then to be on the side where people kind of discredit me sometimes because I'm so cute, quote unquote. I've actually had a lot of women make comments to me about, well, you don't have to worry about that because you're pretty, or you don't have to worry about that because you're thin. You don't have to worry. Well, they don't know my past story. They don't know that I was 100 pounds heavier before, and I know what it feels like. I know what it feels like to feel like you could be so much better than what you are, but yet you have not taken it to that level yet. I know what it's like to feel like you're counted out instantly because of the way that you look. And it's also frustrating to maybe be around the guys that you might have been attracted to, but they're constantly attracted to the same type of girl, and that never would include you. But when I lost the weight, that changed. And so other women, I think, really did not take a liking to that. And that wasn't all my friends, because my friends that really supported me and really loved me, my best of friends, they could care less. They were just happy that I was happy. So what I'm saying in this is, when you lose all the weight, remember to keep your head together. It's no easier side. I think both sides are just as hard. I think both sides have taught me how to live and how to be a wonderful person, and how to not take anything for granted. But I also think there's ugly to both sides. I think, on one hand, I had lower self-esteem. I wasn't so sure of the way that I looked, even though I was always a pretty girl. I think that on one side, I wanted to date. I wanted to, and even though I did, even when I was bigger, I kept a boyfriend. So that's another thing. I will say that I still kept a boyfriend, but I think I was more looking for more validation at that time. And I think now I'm not looking for so much validation. I'm looking for compatibility. I'm looking for someone who's equally yoked with me. And I think now that's changed my mindset. And when I was going back to that ugly side, the one side you have the lower self-esteem, the other side you have the higher self-esteem, but you also get judged for the way you look when you're a beautiful person to other people. So just as much as I got judged when I was a bigger girl, I get judged for being a smaller, prettier girl to some people. And so I think that, people think the grass is always greener. You're going to endure trials and tribulations no matter what you do, no matter what you look like, no matter how much you change. To some people now, I'm too skinny. To some people now, I should have kept some of the weight on. You can never please everybody. And that's the case in point with this situation. And this is only part one to this, because I feel like like I could go into so much more depth about this, but I wanted to go ahead and come at you all with that, just with some encouragement about that. As you change, people will change. And sometimes you as a person might not change. You might still be that same beautiful person, and that's wonderful. But remember that people around you will change, and they will claim that you have changed even if you haven't, because to them you're just different. And then another thing is, some people do lose the weight and change, and I've seen a lot of people do that. They lose weight and they become this snotty being who thinks that they're owed so much, and you're not owed anything for losing weight. It's up to you to give yourself that validation, that self-assurance, that high sense of self-esteem. And there's a thin line between arrogance and self-confidence. And I like to tell people, honestly, with me, I'm highly self-confident, and I also have a level of arrogance, which I think is validated. I've worked hard for what I've done, no matter what I look like. I've worked hard for everything I've done. And I thank God first for everything he's done for me and how he's worked through me. But I think it's okay to have a level of arrogance, but that has to be balanced. Some people lose all this weight and they go all the way to being arrogant and ignorant to people, especially ignorant to people who treated them maybe not as well when they were heavier. That's not the way to handle the situation. I just liked to, when I lost all the weight, just show up at places. People would see me. People knew I had lost the weight. I didn't have to go showing out and showing off in front of people. I just wanted to be who I was. I wanted people to see that I had worked so hard for something and I'd finally done it. I wasn't just, playing around about the weight loss and things like that. So I was happy, and I was confident in the sense that I did this, and it was something that I could say was a strong feat for me. And so I just want to leave you all with that cup of wisdom, and I hope that this will help spin off into some other videos for you, because I've had so many people ask about that specifically. So I hope that helped, guys. Beautiful brown baby doll. Peace.
If you would like to see more of my weight loss videos as well as my natural hair care videos, click on the pictures and they'll take you to my playlist for each. Also, I'm very, very appreciative of all the support I receive from you all. But please continue to rate, share, comment, and most of all, subscribe to Beautiful Brown Baby Doll to help me continue to grow. I'm blessing everything I do. I keep it real and true, so to my viewers I can get through. I'm on the quest.